This is Mike Neal, your fifth generation Xenia, Ohio funeral director. I was a communications major, but I don't want to talk about it. Hey, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the April 3rd, 1974 at 4:40 p.m. in the afternoon tornado. Back on April 3rd, I was 6 years old, almost 7 that month. And I'll never forget my dad, Tom Neild, coming home and saying to me, you want to step outside and see a tornado? The tornado had chased him home from our funeral home. Now, what you see today is our main chapel here at 1276 North Detroit Street. This building was available 5 months after the tornado, and fortunately, no one was in it, and we needed a building because our other building from the tornado is on the wall right there. If I can get a picture of it. That was the 1877 built Avey Mansion. The Aveys were the starters of H&E Avey Wholesale, maybe H&H Avey, and it later was what would become Superfoods. But on April 3rd, we were in that building. That was our funeral home, and that was the epicenter of the worst tornado, as far as we knew, that hit America in those many years of documentation, because it was the super outbreak. It took place April 3rd and 4th, I believe, from Ohio, which is basically the end of Tornado Alley, all the way down to Alabama. I think 200 or 300 people were killed. In Xenia, it was always said that 1,200 homes and 200 businesses were destroyed. 32 people were killed that day, and their names are listed on our local City Hall monument, with 2 men that were in the Army National Guard. This is a photo of the monument outside the old City Hall, as well as 2 guardsmen that died in the Cherry wholesale fire that they were spending the night in. That area where that wholesale fire just happened to be where in 1929 our funeral home was, and had been moved there by the 1908 Avey wholesale fire that burned out a whole block of West Main Street. When the tornado was over on April 4th, my dad was standing on the roof of what would be our old funeral home, and you can see it right there, and looking over, he saw the fire that was killing those 2 servicemen. Kind of ironic. Anyway, the local newspaper, the Xenia Gazette, which I believe has been around since the 1860s, won a Pulitzer Prize for their reporting that day. And the reporting consisted of not only printing the newspapers, even though the city had been destroyed, but also delivering those newspapers sometimes to places that didn't exist anymore. And what you can see here on one of the newspapers that I have out here is the staff of the Xenia Gazette on May 6th of 75, winning the Pulitzer Prize. And some of those folks, Jack Jordan, the editor, Mike Ungard, sports, Randy Blackaby, they really worked overtime. Jack Jordan later was on the Guideposts booklet that folks received, Christian newspaper article, and talked there in front of Central Junior High, which was destroyed. my mother and my father were the first class to go to the new high school, which was built in 1958. And that, of course, was XENIA High School. And their class had donated a flagpole, which is off to the right of the front of the building the day after the tornado, on the ground. And in 2014, they donated that monument that was at the base of the high school flagpole back to the school. My dad was able to salvage that as president of the class, and Dodds Monument put together a real nice black obsidian back to that. And that is now, there's our old superintendent, Denny Morrison, now in the entryway of XENIA High School, along with other monuments from other buildings that were taken down over the years. On the aftermath of that tornado, my grandfather, Bill Neild, was an avid photographer, and he always had a Polaroid or some type of a camera handy, and he did a little, I don't know how well you can see it here, but he did a little album of photos and things, and some of these photos were news articles that came out. There's something about Benner Field House. Let's see if I can switch this around here.